why, Mitch? Hello, but you always
live streaming is on.
Sorry, the robot cut you off, Kai. What did you say?
Yeah, you always put a smile on my face every time I see you.
Really?
Yeah, such good memories, man. Like, and the food was amazing. Mitch is always our cook at Burning Man, or like the head chief kitchen master. And I don't wanna. Yeah, I don't want to distract from the meeting.
It's so early. You're making me blush, man. Come on. It's Monday. Stop.
They're gonna set us up so we can share.
Well, you know, we're looking to get the ball rolling for this year.
This year?
Yeah. I thought you were still in the Telegram chat.
I am. I'm not really in Telegram anymore. So let me check it out. I didn't know
What's happening over there.
This year I will pass. New baby.
Yeah, and all that stuff around getting vaccinated and whatnot. So it's very complicated.
I'm gonna get vaccinated, I guess, sooner or later. All right, and now stop the distractions. Let's go on with the governance meeting. There are people here now.
No, governance is people. It's all good. That's what we're here for. So much of it we're automating, but this moment to like actually do the human part is really important. And I'm really excited. Forrest just walked in now, so we're actually sitting together, and I get to give her the new computer here in a minute. Okay, good morning, good evening, happy day, everyone. Good God, y'all. So I simplified our agenda, figuring we can just hack on a couple of things, but let's start out with the human part. Here, I'll share my screen. I can go through the agenda a little bit. Boop. And type in. So let's see, I'll start off on my check-in, how I'm feeling today. I'm actually feeling a lot today. Landed, and I've been going pretty hard since leaving my family in the States, getting here, meeting everybody, unpacking, organizing, and then had an explosion this morning. Just after I had just cleaned the whole house, got everything where I wanted, I to shut it. Coding everything.
Sorry, Donnie. Maybe it's only me, but I don't understand the word. It's so like your audio is bad.
Yeah, I don't know. Can't hear you very well.
Oh. Okay. Probably because I shared my screen.
Oh, we got double-handed too now. What's going on? It's going crazy.
Oh yeah. Okay, so maybe it's not me. Is it me? I'm gonna stop sharing. Maybe that'll help.
Oh, that's okay. It's really the pure audio quality of your whatever input you have is.
Yeah, I'm just. Oh,
maybe calling on your phone.
Yeah. All right. Well, it looks like I have red. So if someone, I'll pass. I think I just blathered on enough. Can you guys hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
We can always hear you. It's just the quality is not nice.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pass it to you, Kai, and I'll see if I can get my audio better.
All right. I didn't do this for a while. I don't know if I ever did it. Meeting notes, no governance. I didn't even know where the notes are kept here. All right. Okay, who is here? Nice. I'm feeling. So let's do very quick check-ins. Feeling great. And I put on the agenda to talk about the multisig, the new one that should work on XDAI as well as the mainnet. And I gave it to.
Did you say me? You cut out right at the okay.
Yes.
I'm feeling great. Good Monday, good weekend. Saw some friends. Whoa, that's crazy seeing friends. And yeah, looking to get caught up on the week and hear what's going on with governance. And I will pass it to Lauren.
Hi, I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling like extremely low energy today, and it's like, yep, I'm on my moon, and it's like really draining me. But I'm good. And also, I guess just like I found a new house, so this week I also have to move, and I have to get the internet installed in the new house. And so there's going to be like a little bit of like shuffling around, which is going to take me a little bit out of things slightly. But my focus for the week is like I really want to get things a little bit more organized. Sometimes I go, especially into like the board for Giveth.io, I get like really confused. So I want to go through and like see if I can close any like issues that are not there and like comment on them. And like I really want to do that. I feel like so much like doing that because it will make me so happy to see it clean. And yeah, and I don't have anything to add for governance. Yeah, and I pass to Marco.
Thanks, Lauren. Great stuff about Giveth.io board. I do that all the times. Like, I open the board and I just look around and see what can I update or close or, stuff like that. So that's a great thing. Maybe we could do it together. Like when you will be doing that, ping me. And by the way, I also wanted to reach out to you to maybe have a quick hack session on givebacks. So like if you will have time this week, that would be awesome. I'm doing fine. My focus for this week will be continuing to work on some updates on the Giveth UI. So yeah, I created a new page in Figma and I'm playing around there with new designs and simplifying stuff and figuring out where the whole givebacks and staking and all this functionality will kind of fit in the new UI. So yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to kind of hack with you, Lauren, maybe first. And yeah, that's it. I'll pass it to Matteo. Oh, yeah, Matteo, I want your reply regarding the rich text editor, so I don't forget.
They were sorry?
The rich text editor, about the icons. Okay. Your reply on this issue, that's all. I'll pass it over to you.
Good week, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. Yeah, short weekend. I hope this week is a little bit longer because I have a lot of stuff to do. And my intention for this governance call is maybe check out what should be the priority for development and what should we be adding for it. Because I guess this week, this Wednesday, we will be having a sprint planning session that must adapt some of the functionalities that we'll be discussing here. Yeah, that's it. I'll pass it to Willie.
Thanks, Matteo. Morning, everybody. Today I'm feeling best day ever. Still waking up though. Focus for this week, I want to support Danny and Hannah in evolving our reward process for rewarding contributors. That'll be beneficial both for these monthly rewards we do for contributors as well as for the airdrop to current Giveth contributors. So excited to work on a sheet, and if you guys want to do a hack sesh this week, I'm super open to that. And yeah, that'll be the big focus this week. I will pass it to Griff.
Yeah, I'm feeling the same, best day ever. It feels really good to be back on the West Coast actually and traveling around. It's pretty cool. And as far as this week, or sorry, what's the intention, or what's my framing? Do you guys know what I'm supposed to say here?
just how are you doing, and maybe focus for the week and whatever.
Yeah, just how you're feeling, anything that you need to focus on or get support with this week, and your priorities for this call.
Cool. Yeah, for focus for this week, I'm excited to push DAppNode, continue to push DAppNode forward, and then work with Fabio. We're gonna have a little hack session. I invited you, Marco, but it's totally optional. If you just to try to get a early draft of what givebacks will look like a printout of like these people get these tokens. So that should be cool. And I'll pass it to Ashley. Can you guys hear Ashley?
No, Ashley, are you
We
muted?
can't.
honey?
Can you hear me now?
You're
Very
really, really faint and far away. No, well, now you're not saying anything. No, we don't hear you. Now you want to work on it for a moment and we can let Hannah go?
How about that?
Ooh,
Yeah,
there you go.
Yes.
Yay! I figured it out. Okay. I am feeling really good. I woke up earlier than normal and I don't feel like I need to go back to bed, and that's unusual for me, actually, like feeling energized waking up early. So that's nice. And my focus for this week is to get some more projects verified and probably schedule a coalition meeting, our first meeting for a coalition. There's a lot of hype around that. A lot of people are interested in joining in other communities, and so getting everybody collaborating, that's exciting. And I guess just finding a good flow with the feedback form and how we verify and the distribution and everything like that. So that's my focus for the week. And my intention for the call is just to sync up with you guys and see what decisions need to be made, and yeah, that's it. So I will pass it to Hannah.
All right. I of work. I was doing like 12 to 14-hour days and working weekends for the last 2 weeks. So glad that that's behind me. And then my intentions for my focus for this week is to really kind of do what Lily was mentioning about automating the praise and budget allocation, Excel docs, and making that all for each month, as well as the projects that we have. So I'll get into those things. Also, I'm going to figure out whenever I launch these meetings. So I want to know if the quality is okay, but I'm also trying. But yeah, that is it for me, and I will pass it to.
I think
Yeah,
Forrest.
we could hardly hear you at all, Hannah. You're all chopping up.
Oh no! Shoot! Did you get the main part or?
Now you're super clear.
Oh no! Okay,
This is
I
spooky.
can. I'll re-say that quickly or quicker. I'm working on the Excel documents and automating the praise and budget allocations process this week. Survived my hardest week of work. And then whenever I launch these meetings on my computer, it crashes my computer. So I'm on my phone, which is probably why the quality is not the best. And I'm going to try to figure that out. And then I think that was everything in a short-winded way. But that's it. I will pass it to Danny.
Yeah, Forrest's gonna go. We have a couple of big trucks going by, so go.
Hi, I'm Forrest. Feeling really good today. I felt really rested, and now I'm like crashing a little bit, but I'm sure I'll even out. This week, my focus is on scheduling the project verification friends and doing email outreach today to our second round. And also super excited to meet with Connie in person now that she's back. And we have a couple of different things to talk about, and that's really fun to get to, but maybe we'll do some road mapping. We'll see. And my priorities for this governance call, yeah, just to think in and check in with everyone and see if there's something that I can support with. I feel like I have some bandwidth this week. I think that's what I'm doing.
Okay, so the 4 things that I have to talk about / hack on together today funds management, anything on the reputation DAO, development priorities, if there's any decisions that need to be made for upcoming sprints, and then update on the token economy, and if there's anything with the airdrop that we can work on or any decisions needed. Everything else, if that or want any of those sooner than later, I figure we'll start off with funds management since Kyle, you wanted to add something in about where we're at with the multi-sig receiving donations. Do we have a Kai?
Yes, James just joined as well.
Oh, nice. James, do you want to check them?
Sure, I can check in quickly. How am I feeling? I'm quite clear. I'm a little bit hungry, and it's a beautiful sunny day, so I feel grateful for that. My focus this week is prioritizing and getting into the new sprint, and my priority for this meeting is just to tune in. I don't bring anything that I want to discuss, but just to sync and stay in touch, I guess. And if I'm the last, then I pass it back to you, Danny, or Kai.
Awesome, thanks. Yep, Kai is next on the agenda.
Yeah. All right, guys, your audio, like for many people, is really, really bad. Like if you can afford a new pair of headphones, or I don't know, it's probably also not like, I don't even know how to help. I wish I could help. So the agenda is we should talk about funds management, which should transition to the DAO more because it's very manual at the moment. It's on the backs of like single people, and it could be more of a collective process, and it could be more out of, like I said, our DAO. Then yeah, that leads into the next topic, which is the DAO and dev priorities. I'm not sure how actual this agenda is, and we close off with the token economy roadmap items.
No, Kai, I just wanted you to listen. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Am I bad again? You wanted to talk about the new multi-sig and switching it over from non-con so that we can identify where all the funds are currently coming in to Giveth and get them all rerouted to this multi-sig because it's both XDAI and ETH mainnet, right?
Yeah, we should find a process for this. It's like it's basically ready. What the way it works is we need to compile a list of addresses and people who want to be on the multisig, and then we vote in one after the other. We can also make a session out of this, which is nice because then you see who's in. We talk about the things that, how to operate the Nose is Safe, how to, what we need it for, etc. It's not needed though, but we should start very soon. I assume it's cool if you. So I will champion this, and it's lying around for too long already. Like this could have been done. Could have been completed already. So just start, you guys. I would say if you want to be part of the multisig, just PM me with your address or post it in the multisig channel on Discord, and I will revisit on Wednesday and see who we have and if we should switch, because I think we decided already that we will use it. We should switch very soon to the most problematic is probably ENS. I don't know how you feel, Griff. With nah, it's really expensive. I think it's like $120 or whatever to.
If it's a one-time cost, it's not that bad, and I can just I can play the gas fees market.
Mm-hmm. All right, because like we should probably get the Giveth.eth, which I think we use now as the general standard. ENS name, register it to this to noncon.eth.
Yeah, and revolution.eth it sounds like too.
Yeah, you can decide it for yourself. I think it's best for us if we propagate the give.eth and the revolution.eth. I like it very much, but it seems like people were a bit confused. Like they don't know us. Otherwise, they would know why it's revolution.eth.
Yeah. Well, it's in our video, right? I mean,
all right.
Okay, so I just put down the steps as I understand them. So we did decide before that we're going to have 10 people. We can have 10 people on the multi-sig, but we only require 4 people to sign to release a transaction. And so the next step is to compile a list of all of the addresses we have for Giveth. Where do funds come into? And we're getting all of that routed to this new multi-sig, right?
It's basically the main donation address. So yeah, we should definitely look at where it is, but it should be in both dApps and on our website, which is now the dApp. So
right.
I think we are fine if we just we might want to dig through old Medium articles. That's one thing. But for sure, like revolution.eth is there. So we always used revolution.eth because give.eth is very recent or like from last year. But I think we just recently switched to calling it that on the website, and that's the only place where it actually is. That's at least what I think. But if we change both revolution.eth and give.eth, we are fine. And I will make sure after this call that we are able to access the save on XDAI.
And then I think the other step we would need to do is the current mode. So we want to move all funds into that wallet now, right? And get everything in one place. So once we should probably get the signers set up and have everybody have it configured properly. Then we move all of the funds into it and change everything on the web pages so all donation routes point to that multi-sig going forward.
I think we can still talk about this. I think the most important step is to get people onto this multi-sig and change the ENS names. And because that already takes care of most. And also we don't need to compile. I just said that because, yeah, I don't know. That was just an expression. We can do it very rough. People send me addresses, they get onboarded. And I'll be transparent about who I onboard. If I get a PM, I will put it in multi-sig. The multi-sig channel on Discord. Yeah, that should work like that. And
I'm kind of breaking our brain on that for a moment because I feel like we should agree on it first, who those 10 people are, and say yes, and then give that list to you. And I'm sorry, I just kind of oriented. If everybody feels good about just anybody who's here can send their address and tell you to find receiving a piecemeal, that's okay. Okay, I see the updates. Thank you. Okay, I want to jump us over to the pan distribution for March. There's a link in there for that spreadsheet. Willie, I know we went ahead and made the new April one. We're a little bit behind on that here, but we should be able to get it out. Why do I not see that link opening? I thought we could take a look at it right here in this call, get it, look at those. Danny's vote, but it could be all of our vote today if we want to just take a look at it and see if anything needs to change and suggest it and go forward. Guess we could probably. Can you guys hear me or am I frozen?
No, we can hear you. It's a bit hard to follow, but it's better now for me.
Okay. So let's see. Got Mitch, James, Kai, Mateo up there at the top. Hey, Willie, are you there? I know I did go through and edit these numbers. the total cred, but it was my first time doing this. And also, I think I need to go back and add a few more people to this list. That was one thing we talked about. You guys, anybody who shows up each month with source cred and shows up in there, should we be adding folks on here for distributing that pan? Or are we sticking with the list of folks that are there? That was one thing I wasn't clear on how we've done it in the past.
Is there a spreadsheet that we
Yes.
should be looking at? I don't see.
Oh, it's in the agenda on the next item. It's under pan distribution for March. Here, I'll
I
put
can
it
share
in.
it here.
Oh, here we go. I got it. There we go.
Yes, I think we should be adding people to the list, and also, potentially removing people too if they stop showing up. So it should be a fluid list, and I think you're right, Danny, that there's some people who are contributing in the month of March. I'm pretty sure he was contributing that month. Correct me if you joined this in April. That we should add to this list.
Right. All right. I think I would like to go back and review this one more time. This is the first month I've actually put in those numbers. I'd like to make sure I did it right and also add our other contributors to it. So I think what I'll do is finish hacking this up, and I'll put any suggested changes that I have and then get this up in the governance channel so you guys can take a look at it and maybe give us 24, 48 hours to let me know if you see anything that you want changed in there.
Cool. Sounds great. Thanks for taking this on, Danny.
Yep, happy to do it. Then the next item I wanted to cover with us is regular rewards. There is another link. I'll put this one into the comment as well. This is payments distribution. So most everybody, I think I didn't talk to you yet about it, Forrest. So in this, where am I?
I think that's the same spreadsheet that you just posted.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. This one. I want to apologize. I've actually had a little bit of a migraine for the last 24 hours. So if I'm not my awesome clear self at this moment, I did just give in and took some migraine pills this morning. So I put green in where I've completed information with everybody. Ashley, Tommy, Calvin, other contributors are just going to be happy with the PAN reward and or putting a reward down milestone if there's something, which I don't have anything for this month for most of those. Mateo, I've already handled. Kai, I saw you put all of your information in there. So Griff, you were asking me about tests. So this is where Lauren did her research and figured out exactly what she wants. But Forrest, I think you said you still wanted to chat a little bit to know what to receive.
Sure.
Yeah. So the request for this past month is to fill in this spreadsheet with exactly what it is. And then starting next month. Yeah. Okay. Well, I would like the whole thing green very soon. So thank you. And then next month, that's where we change things up. So Kai, Lauren, Forrest, and Dawn are the ones outstanding still for April or for March. And then in April, we're going to be using the spreadsheet that Hannah and I are working on. And Willie, you and I, when we talked, we were in agreement about something here, but I just wanted to check in with everybody else here. So we're talking about all the funds coming into the multi-sig and the signatures for it to go out. What we're thinking is because we're using the XDI chain and Aragon for our voting and our governance, that we will use that for payouts as well. So I'd like to, based on everybody's input on that payment spreadsheet and what we've been doing, create a budget for us. We have a couple of people who want to make a donation. And want to know what the budget is to cover everybody's regular rewards for a month. So I'm thinking what we would do is move funds into into Aragon out of the multi-sig So that's where our payments to people are coming out of. But I just kind of wanted to hear if there's any reasons why we shouldn't do that. Willie, you and I were both thinking, yes, that's the way we want to go.
Extra transactions are not always necessary, is what I'd say. Like if we can pay out of the other multi-sig until that money's gone, I mean, we could send it all to this multi-sig, but if it's on mainnet, you know, every transaction, it would take 6 transactions to move money out of this multi-sig. That's 6 people paying, you know, $20 to $40, and then we have 4 more people paying out of the multi-sig when they want to move the money out. It's just kind of annoying, honestly.
Can we get all the funds into the Aragon DAO and maybe even just kind of skip the multi-sig, just go straight from, you know, pull it up. Right now, a lot of these funds are in Giveth Giveth Trace. And we talked about the expensive gas costs of doing payouts from there. So is there a path where we can withdraw those funds, deposit them right into the Aragon DAO, like, you know, bridge them over to XDAI, deposit them to Aragon DAO, and then would that be cheap for doing payments from there going forward?
We could send all the money out to a person, and then that person bridges it over, and then puts it in the XDAI DAO. That would be possible.
We can use the new multi-sig for that before it is a multi-sig, I guess. But
I would just recommend just doing a trusted person. We're not in like adversarial environment here, you know, like let's just move the money. Let's try to keep it as simple and as cheap as possible is what I'd say.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of looking for what is that cheapest, most simple solution that we're aiming for, because it feels like we want that to be on XDAI, right? Like definitely getting it off of mainnet is a goal.
Honestly, I think the simplest solution is to leave money where it is until we need it. And then we just have these different accounts. And then when we actually need the money to go somewhere, we make that decision where we pull it from. But the main issue right now is that we need an address that lives on XDAI and mainnet. And I feel like we're just conflating a lot of other things that we don't have to worry about when we just have like one small issue to solve. And then it's like, okay, here's the list of where we have money. And, you know, maybe there's 6 different places, but I don't necessarily see the value in adding this to our like to-do list. Like, oh, let's consolidate all the money in one place and coordinate the multi-sig actions to like, just because like cat herding on multi-sigs is like, it's a task. It'll take people days, you know, like of work. So like, I don't know if we run out of money somewhere, that's when it's like, oh, hey, we have to do this, you know? But if we can just have a spreadsheet that says, oh yeah, there's money here, 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 and oh, we're out of money here, let's grab it when we need it and just like avoid extra work.
We totally can leave funds in Giveth Trace, and I think we have plenty of funds in Giveth Trace to last for a while. I think the main intention, and correct me if I'm wrong, Danny, was just the gas costs. I think we kind of were under the impression that it was really expensive to keep doing payments from Giveth Trace every month. And so I think the main goal here was just to get it onto XDAI. And we have the DAO. And so we also thought that we could potentially cut out a step, because the DAO is where we're doing the proposals to pay everybody out every month. And so we thought that maybe you could do, you know, one final mainnet gas fee, you know, round to get everything on the XDAI, and then going forward we'd have and might as well just take this opportunity to get everything into the you know, the give.eth, or whichever, you know, address you want to use going forward. Just kind of consolidate, get it on XDAI, and then use that going forward. But if it's not worth it now and we're okay paying mainnet gas fees, then you're right, it's less of a requirement, more of a nice to have, and we figured it was a good time to do it.
Well, when we say like, hey, we need, you know, $1,000 here so we can make the payments, that's when it's like, okay, let's take the action to move the money. That's what I'd say. Because hey, who knows, maybe we'll be able to raise the money on XDAI. But probably not. And then, yeah, I mean, because there's like, there's like 10 tokens on our multi-sig as well, and it's like, which ones do we need to move over? It's not going to be as simple as, oh, let's just move all the money and then like da-da-da. There's just always going to be all these details. So let's figure out what we actually need and then make the decisions to move, to do all the detailed work once we get there, when there's need.
Okay.
So are we complete? Are we going to leave funds in where they are for now?
Yes.
We're cool paying the Giveth trace.
Guys, forget the multi-sig. I don't know how this works, but the owner of the XDAI side of the multi-sig is neither me or the surfer. I don't know how this works.
Oh,
we just found out.
I didn't check that before because we just checked that the safe is deployed on XDAI, which it was. Very sorry.
Well, maybe we just need to ask Aaron to transfer it to us.
Well, yeah, I don't know, but I can tell you the address that's there.
Yeah, DM me the address and I'll pass it to Aaron.
All right. But just so you know, let's leave it for now until we give it free. This is crazy. Oh.
So for anyone wondering what's going on, it looks like Kai, we confirmed originally that this multi-sig that we're using on mainnet was indeed deployed on XDAI, this other blockchain, sidechain to Ethereum. But we assumed, I guess, that the signers on mainnet, Kai and the surfer friend, were the signers on XDAI, and we're finding out now that it's actually, we just found out it's a different signer. Hopefully it's Aaron though. The guy who is the signer.
I don't think so because it's an empty address. No history. There's no history on XDAI. Let's see if it has history on mainnet. But oh no, that is mainnet.
Maybe only history on XDAI or none? Neither.
Maybe only history on XDAI. So we should not do this during governance meeting. I just wanted to interject this quickly before anybody sends money on XDAI. Okay, it's an older address, yeah.
all right. Sorry, I had to find the right window. All right. Well, I think we beat that horse pretty good, and now got new information to go back on. The other thing that we wanted to chat about in this call is, I don't have any proposals or anything to talk about right now. Does anybody have anything they would like? I know after the last call we were asking for labels, so that's in that ops channel in Discord if anybody wants to import the custom labels into the DAO for all the different addresses. But besides that, other things we want to talk about are the current sprint, yay, and prioritization. My understanding from last sprint is we were doing a project verification, product reporting projects, and fiat integration. Is there any updates or anything we need to know about this upcoming sprint?
Sorry, Danny, you can updates on what?
Is there any updates on the current sprint, I believe? I don't really have updates. Like, my intention is to sync with Marco ASAP and get his feedback also along with Matteo as to what and how we move forward from here. My understanding is that there is designs for givebacks and that these should be translated into issues, but I'm not sure if that's done already or where we're at with that exactly. So that's my intention. Otherwise, I have a meeting set up with Simplex on Wednesday for fiat onboarding, and no other update on the fiat side.
And then Willie, I know you were talking to Transact. How's that looking?
So we created the account on Transact, and then Alessandro from their team reached out and sent over the steps for integrating. I'll just go ahead and I'll just share my screen real quick because no one's sharing. I was just looking at the convo to see if there's any update. So this is the process. Basically, we've already signed up for the account and got an API key, but we need to submit. We needed to submit our KYB, which is like know your KYC for businesses. Their form, it has all these questions around like, oh, what's the ownership structure of your business? Please list all your holders. Upload company and corporation registration document. Name of the person signing the agreement, controlling more than 25% of the company. Oops. So I explained to him, that we're a 501c3 nonprofit and have no shareholders, and that we're a sub-fund of the SDG Impact Fund. And he said that should be okay. Please include this info on the KYB instead. So I submitted all of our information. I filled it out to the best that I could. I submitted it. And now we are waiting to hear back. I'll follow up with Alessandro. I was just about to do that just to see if everything's good. If there's anything else we can do. But right now, that's kind of the status is we're waiting to hear back from them on whether or not we're approved for Transact. I also described the user flow. That was one step of the application process, was actually describing the flow of funds as we have it, as we desire. And so fingers crossed that we get approved and that we get that the flow that we want, where the donor donates with fiat and a debit card and the project receives the crypto. Hopefully that's going to be okay. But until then, yeah, I think next step is basically to hear that we're approved before we build anything. If we do get approved, then I posted a spec in the Giveth to Dev channel of like a very simple, what I think it would be pretty simple, about as simple of a flow as we can get with Transact. And fortunately, it doesn't look too complex because they have an SDK where we can basically paste a script and that will handle all of the KYC and the whole journey for the user. We just need to make sure that we're passing in our API key and the project's donation address. And the tricky part would be actually detecting the donation. But if we can do that, then it's a relatively simple scope.
Willie, does that fit into our current design and flows?
It fits in great. It's basically right now the flow for a donor would be they select the project they want to donate to, and then instead of donating crypto, we already have that credit card toggle. If they tap credit card toggle, they'd see the Transact widget. That would take them through the full process of actually doing the donation and donating to the project's donation address. Then what we need to figure out, or I guess what you guys would need to figure out, is how do we detect it when the payment's complete? How do we actually detect that and bring the user to the successful donation page? But Transact does have that we can plug into to get real-time updates on the payment status.
So how do you get to the confetti?
So to be clear, this is a fiat onboarding directly to the project's wallet.
Correct. This would be exactly. User pays with their card, and then the project receives the crypto. If we wanted to put like a top up your wallet button in the drop down or something, we could also do that as well. And that I think would even be more likely to get approved by Transact. But I just don't think that's as valuable, right? I think a lot of these wallets already offer that functionality to top up your wallet. So I don't think if we add that feature to our interface, it might make it smoother, but it doesn't really solve a problem, I would say. Whereas I think this will feel great. This will give any project the ability to not only start accepting donations in crypto in minutes, but without any extra effort, start accepting donations in fiat in minutes and receive it in crypto. But be able to tell anyone, hey, come donate with your debit card to our project.
Sounds good. So we just wait to hear from them that we're approved, and then they assure us that everything is good. And if we build on it, that it's going to last.
Exactly. We learned that one the hard way from Stripe. Yeah. We're getting approval first before we build.
Cool.
Nice.
But we can still talk to Simplex because we haven't gotten approved yet. I would say take the meeting with Simplex and see if we can get approved by them. Worst case, maybe we get denied by Transact and get approved by Simplex. So thanks for the initiative to talk to providers too.
Yeah, I filled in a web form and they reached out to me with a a calendar, select a day and time. So I'll just have a chat with them high level and like sort of figure out what's possible. I mean, I think Simplex is what's used by like the big boys like Binance and things like this, right?
It was the first fiat on-ramp we had at Shapeshift back in the day, but at one point their fees were almost like 10% of the transaction fee, but that was years ago. So I have heard that they've come down a lot since then, and they are one of the older providers in the space.
We'll see what they have to say anyway.
One thing, sorry to close, but because we are in meetings, there was this brickmaker thing last week. We tried it like 5 times. It did not work at all. I just wanted to ask Danny if you met with them or if James met with them, if that worked. Because you met with them?
Yes. I met with them. Danny, you were there? No, you were not there, no? Yeah. Yeah, I met with them, with Gaia Giveth, and yeah, I mean, really what they want to, like, I think the impact graph would be very useful, will be very useful for them to build on, but I think like in their case, like I recommended that they just start again from scratch and build Next.js implementation, because everything is so different than our DApp that it would be, it's just not going to really be worth it. So what I suggested is that like if there is components that are useful from Giveth, that we work on the basis of extracting those components to a sort of independent library. So something like Storybook, but instead of Storybook, we were discussing Webpack. What are they called again? This is kind of like a Webpack module composition framework now, where you can compose different components in, basically. So long and short of it is essentially that most likely best for them to build from scratch. In doing so, if there's something that we can use on both sides, that this is extracted out of the Giveth app into a sort of separate framework, so that it can be shared and used by all, like in a composable sort of module fashion. And the impact graph is like a good match for them, basically. So that was kind of it. Like the long and short of it is that, I mean, brickmakers, I don't know, Danny, maybe you want to talk about that more, but I mean, essentially brickmakers will be building the Gaia Giveth application, right?
Well, so I was in that call, and unfortunately it was happening when I was flying, but my understanding was that they were going to be doing the front end, not the back end.
Yeah.
So, but also the front end that's being requested has a lot of the Giveth trace functionality that hasn't yet been built for Giveth. So that's where I was looking to understand how can we collaborate on this better. And how do we getting
everyone's freezing.
Ooh, yeah. And we're back.
Centralize.
So Danny, you were saying that your understanding is that they would be building a front end?
Yeah, my understanding is that they would be building the front end, and then Gaia Gives would be paying you guys to build the back end components in Giveth.io that aren't there yet from Trade.
Yeah, that's my understanding too. And like, in my mind, there's a lot of gray area around how this is going to work exactly. Like, obviously, if there's development that is more specific to Gaia Giveth and it's not on the Giveth roadmap, then that would need to be funded by Gaia Giveth, and then it would need to be prioritized. And how do we prioritize what's above what, etc. So like that was kind of my understanding also. And I think that separation makes sense, and I think it's useful and it's constructive that like they can just build the front end and that we can build whatever extra backend stuff is needed for Gaia Giveth, right? I also said, like, I suggested that if they want to jump into the backend, it's open source, fork it. You know, it's not a bad thing for front end developers to be able to build whatever they need themselves rather than waiting for someone else to do, right? So I wouldn't say like there should be strict boundaries necessarily, but I think that does make sense as you've described it, and that was my understanding of it, and that there's definitely details that we need to hammer it out there, probably.
Right. And then, like, so I think what I understood from Max when he was telling me it is that we would see these as modules and identify, okay, what are the pieces that are needed, and are they needed by somebody else who wants to white label it? And so then getting these prioritization conversations happening would be very important. See, okay, what's coming from our Giveth users, what's coming from white label users, and who wants it enough to make the noise and pay for it, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I was just going to repeat myself again, basically. Like, I mean, in my mind, it makes sense. The way I understand that it will be built makes sense as any developer would do so, right? It's kind of like we're building something afresh, but we're bringing what is useful with us, and as we bring it, we make it better so that others can use it more, right? So it's not strictly like a white label. It's not even a white label thing, I would say. I mean, there's even the argument to be made that maybe Giveth would end up using the Guy Giveth front end at some point, you know, or a fork of that. But it's all super unclear at this time, right? So, yeah, I wouldn't really say more than that about it. It's a good meeting.
Thank you. I guess that's the other question is, what did you think of meeting with them?
Yeah, I think it was a good meeting. I think that they're very professional and experienced, and it's super cool if we have them on our side pulling in our direction, right? So, yeah, I think the approach is the best approach, and Guy Giveth is different enough to warrant like building a new front end, and I think that will ultimately benefit Giveth even if we do nothing on that front end, right? Because there is components that we have in our adapt that will be useful for them. Those components will be extracted and improved and moved across, and then that will of course feed back into us. I say them and us like in terms of like brick makers, them, us, whatever, you know what I mean?
Nice. Okay, I want to leave a few minutes to check in with Hannah. Do you have any other questions around development updates before we can check in on that spreadsheet?
Yeah, so I talked, wait, can you guys hear me okay? Okay, great. I just talked with Kai, and we're gonna reach out to the source cred, or I'm gonna reach out to the source cred people to see if we can easily export the data it collects each month to Excel, because that would definitely make the process a lot less manual. And yeah, so that's kind of the first step, and then once we can hopefully bring that in an easy way. This week is the week I'm kind of trying to get into the Excel sheets and work on the macros, because last week was like the busiest for my day job. So that's kind of the update there. And also, if anyone does end up having more ideas of other data we want organized, or if you guys have any projects and need someone to kind of compile that data or just make it easier to work with, feel free to send me a private message. And this project will come first for now, but it'd be great to kind of have a list of things to work on. So open to that as well.
Nice. And I think I heard in the call yesterday that like from the givebacks on the token for all of the different types of contributors, people that are receiving it, that you're going to be helping put together sort of a master spreadsheet of all of the people and all of the tokens.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That's also on the list. So that will, yeah, we can talk more about that. That's something, that we'll also be working on. So should have some better data organizing sheets in the future.
Nice. Okay. Well, here we are at the top of the hour. There's a dev call coming up, so we can wrap up. Does anyone have any final thoughts, comments for today? Is that a yes? You have something or a waving goodbye?
I'm not muted. I thought I was muted. Like, I have to come on mute. While we're doing this, I think Aaron will donate a multi-sig to us, and I wanted to actually discuss with him like CLR fund and Giveth future collaborations anyway. So we'll talk later today.
Nice.
Okay.
Good things come from stupid things. That's always nice.
That's amazing.
We'll get a good clean multi-sig.
Yeah. But you'll be I was going to invite you, Willie, but I don't think the time will work. It's in like 6 hours. I think you'll be at 4 p.m. Eastern.
I could join at 4:15 possibly if you send me the link. Yeah. So
Okay.
I could join at 5 minutes. I would love to.
Yeah, I would like to meet. That would be great. Okay, cool. That's all I have.
All right, yay. All right, thanks everybody. Have a beautiful week. And see you on the next call.